So, how important is it to connect with your fans? Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Exploration series. This week is going to be a little bit shorter because I'm kind of pressed for time, but I wanted to talk about something that's extremely important to me, and that's appreciating your fans. This talk is focused primarily on those people who create and sell things online, which I think many of you do, whether that be like YouTube subscriptions or Bandcamp or Gumroad or Patreon. And really, if you think about this, it's so painfully obvious. Like, if you sold something on eBay, when you mailed that purchase to that person, don't you usually like include a thank you letter and just appreciating them for the purchase? So I find this to be something that is so widely overlooked by many artists, and it's really painfully simple to handle. Shooting off a quick 2-sentence email takes maybe a minute of your time, but it can have a really long-lasting impact on the person who receives it. Now, as an example, when you make a sale on Bandcamp, you get that person's email address. And I have purchased well over 100 albums on Bandcamp in the last 6 or 7 years. And I think in that time, I've received a total of 2 email responses, personally thanking me for that. Now, after all, this person who is buying your stuff, this person went out of their way to purchase your work. They obviously appreciate the time you spent making the art, and they want to compensate you in some way. Now, how would making a personal connection with that person be a bad thing? This appreciation can come in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be just email. Either from, sending an email message or a private message, depending on the social media network, thanking that person for their purchase, or keeping in contact with them on social media like Twitter, or even just responding to people at all. There are many times on these YouTube videos or in my How to Use FamiTracker series where people are genuinely surprised that I responded to their comments. And I find that really weird. Now, another really great example of this is Patreon. I've heard from some people who subscribe to Patreons that if they don't get a personalized thank you or just a general welcome message from the person that they subscribe to, they actually start considering not paying the following month. Like, that sounds kind of snotty and full of themselves, but at the same time, Patreon is an extremely personal connection when it comes to the person and the artist. And often people want that personal connection. So really consider going out there and making sure that that connection is made. Now, however, sometimes people don't really want that personal connection. They just want to help support you. So taking all of what I've said already into consideration, be wary of spamming. Send only one thank you email and be sure to keep it relatively short. Now, if they do respond to that email, then you can start a conversation and then you can build a rapport with that person and learn more about them. You do this because you want to show that you are watching this and that you do genuinely appreciate the support that this person is giving. Just, don't make it weird. Now, another complaint that I've heard about this is that it can take too long to do. And maybe that's just because I'm not big enough as an artist to run into this problem, but I feel like that even if you are selling 10 or 20 things a day, that's maybe an hour's worth of work every week, probably less if you've set up templates. And considering how much money you're probably making from those interactions, it's definitely something to consider. I don't think that there's really any point at which you're getting too much that you can't handle it. So I'm sure some of you are asking if this is really worth all the time invested. And my favorite story about this is from a guy who bought just one of my albums. I sent him a thank you note for the purchase, like I always do. And about 20 minutes later, he bought 4 more of my albums. Would he have bought them anyway? It's entirely possible. I can't really attribute that to just that, but I do feel that creating a personal connection and just letting him know that, I'm a person behind, all the music. I'm a person and I, genuinely appreciate his support. I think that really helped him understand that, well, maybe I'll go get more, you know? So, are there any thoughts or do you have any methods of showing your appreciation to your fans? I would really love to hear about those in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, please consider liking and subscribing because I'm going to be making more of these every week. I do have a Patreon, which creates royalty-free music every week for content creators. If you need music for any of your creative projects, check out the link below for more information. And I will see all of you in the next video. Be remarkable.